Hello guys, this is the video for the review day. We are going to start with a lead-in or a warm-up. This is going to be a reflection. You are going to read this quote. You are going to think about its meaning. It means reflection time. So the quote says, "Travel is never a matter of money, but of courage." Okay, if you needed to translate some words in order to understand this quote, you can do it. The reflection is going to be on your notebook. Okay, maybe the next class we are going to take a time in order to listen to your discussion. Okay. Later in the review day, we are going to talk about the subject and object questions. That was the first topic for Unit 1. So over here we have a question example. We have, who does John love? Right? And the answer is John loves Mary. So we have who and Mary are related, and they are a object. Okay, Mary is the object of the question. So this is going to be considered an object question. Okay, what are the characteristics of an object question? That is going to be they have an auxiliary verb. Okay, and we need to remember they are going to be in any tense, any grammar tense. Okay, so it could be the present, the auxiliary do or does, the past, the auxiliary did, or maybe the present continuous, the different forms of the verb to be in present, am, is, are auxiliaries. Okay, along with the verb in ing. So when you see or identify an auxiliary verb in a question, you can tell that this is an object question. Okay, and they are going to have a word order. Yes, we need to remember the order of all the questions in order to write it. Okay, on the other hand, we are going to have subject questions, right? And we are going to see this example, who loves John? And the answer is Sally. In this case, Sally is the subject of the sentence, right? And for that reason, we have a subject question asked for the subject of the sentence. We are going to have the main characteristic of a subject question, that is they don't have auxiliary verbs. We are not going to see do, does, did, etc. Okay, we can say that WH questions in subject questions are easy to do. You have a WH question, and after that you have the verb conjugated. In this case is simple present. It's conjugated because Sally is a third person. She loves, right? In this case you only copy the next or the rest of the sentence. So here we have some examples about object and subject questions. On this side, on the left side, we are going to find some examples. For in number 1 we have, where does Tom live? Okay, you can see here the auxiliary. Later you have, where did he go to school? The auxiliary is did from the past. Who does he live with? The auxiliary is does. Later we have, is he going to work here? And we can see the auxiliary verb is. Okay, is the auxiliary of the present continuous. Later, we can see the subject questions. Okay, example number 1, who lives here? You can see the WH word and later the verb conjugated. Number 2, who went to this school? WH question and the verb in simple past. And later we have who lives with Tom, who's going to work here. Okay, so you can see the verbs, all the verbs in different tenses are conjugated. So that is the characteristic of subject questions. Later we have the communication vocabulary that was related to maybe face-to-face communication, for example, giving a presentation, telling a joke, maybe speaking in public, expressing feelings, interviewing, keep in touch, giving opinions, argue, complain, encourage, persuade, insist, and agree. So from your homework you have all the meanings in Spanish, right? That was your homework. And maybe argue could be new for you. Argue is when some people disagree about an idea or opinion. Okay, later we are going to see the present simple versus the present continuous. It means the comparison of these two tenses. Okay, here we are going to see the comparison in uses, examples, and maybe time expressions. Okay, on this side, the left side, you are going to find present simple. Okay, what is the use of present simple? It was to tell routines or maybe describe habits. Okay, it means something that you do often or every day. Okay, so we are going to take that as a use of present simple, right? Here you have an example. Alicia plays the guitar every afternoon, and we are going to find some time expressions like adverbs of frequency, every, okay, or maybe phrases that shows that this action is performed habitually, right? Here you have a note about the adding the s or maybe changing or conjugating the verb in third person. And also you can use the auxiliaries do or does, it depends from the subject, for negative and questions. On the other hand, in the right part you have present continuous. Okay, the use of this is for actions that are happening right now. You remember that? Yes, action in progress. So you have an example. Alicia is playing the guitar right now. It means at the moment. Okay, time expressions, we have now, right now, today, at the moment, these days. Look and listen are from another use. If you remember, in classes we checked or review about this use, and this is the use, guys. The future actions represented by present continuous. Okay, so you are going to have the same structure, but you're communicating this action is going to happen in the future. Okay, so finally we had the gradable and non-gradable adjectives. If you remember, we compare these two adjectives, right? Gradable means that you have levels in order to describe the adjective. So for example, you have cold, as a simple adjective, right? But you can say today is very cold, or tonight was a bit cold. So you are giving some levels, some degrees to the adjective in order to grade it. Okay. Later you have the opposite, non-gradable adjectives or maybe extreme adjectives. That was the example. Married and pregnant are good examples because these adjectives are extreme, so you cannot give a level or maybe a degree. Okay, so these are extreme adjectives.